want to take you one step back. You talked about the dream started to go. A lot of people don't understand when we start to have national basketball teams and we're looking for our top talent to come back home. Presumably, a lot of people think you're one of our top talent.
Yeah.
But there was a decision that you made a few years back that has now prevented you from playing for the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And there was something specific behind that when you went for the Canadian national team. Tell us about exactly, was that a hard decision for you to knowing that later on that you would be, because of FIBA rules, you would have been counted out from being able to play for the Bahamas?
Well, yeah, well, that decision was made at a time where, you know, Dean Smith, who was who my parents entrusted, who I wanted to play for, so that I'd have an opportunity to go to the pros and have a pro career. He called me in his office my junior year, and he said he'd called around to pro scouts about whether or not they thought I was ready. And he said, you know what, Rick, there's a lot of questions about whether or not you're pro material, and we need to remove some of those question marks. And by doing that, they need to see you play against pro players. And so the only way you could do that is by playing with a national team, because I couldn't as a college player be allowed to play in that tournament. But if I was on a national team, well, unfortunately, the Bahamas didn't have a national team playing in those tournaments. Didn't play, at the time, playing in that summer league. And and as a young man, I took his advice without really thinking what that meant legally for me going forward. It was about, okay, how do I prove to these people that I deserve to be in the NBA? And so I went under his advice, and I played in that summer league, and I played really well, and made a mark enough so that I was drafted. And what a lot of people haven't heard and know, and I was sharing this earlier today, is that the opportunity to play for the Canadian Olympic team came up years later, and they called me, and they said, we want you to play on the Canadian. I said, you know what? That's not my home. That's not where I'm from. I'm Bahamian. And I called my mom, and she was an Olympic athlete for Canada, and she says, you Bahamian? I said, I know. And I called the people up, and I said, thank you, respectfully, I wish you all well, but I'm Bahamian. If Bahamas have a national team and an Olympic team, that's the team I want to be on. And if I can't be on that, I'll just wait. I'll wait to play some role, to see another Bahamian come along behind me, and when he shoot the ball in the hoop in the Olympic Games, I get the chills like I get right now, because that's where my pride is, you know. And so, having always been available to pass on all my knowledge over the years, not something, you know, I'm happy about, but you do the best you can. You keep moving forward. There's more. Today is another opportunity. So that's what I hope people understand. And I know you can't please everybody. You can't be everything to all people, but, you know, a choice at a younger age to move forward in my career was made. It's affected me. You know, would I make a different choice today? I still believe I could have made the pros without making that choice. You learn from them. Has it affected me? Yeah. Can I never wear a Bahamian uniform in the Olympics? Maybe. You know, and that's hard. That's hard to know, but I can still cheer and root and hold the gold medal like I held from Demetrius Pinders yesterday, and see it in his face and be as proud for him and those guys, or Vanderpool and the pool. You know, that's my pride.
That's some good stuff. Well, stay tuned. Sports with Julian Gibson is straight ahead.